let me tell you what we're here for. Besides getting to know about Jake and what he does here at Obsidian, we're here to also help raise money for the International Rescue Committee to help children and families displaced during the Ukraine crisis. So while you're playing this, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Jake, obviously. I have been in the games industry for about 6 or 7, I think 7 years now. I started in 2015 as an intern at GameSpot.com, where I cut my teeth on all sorts of different videos, guides, writing, and then last year, actually it's almost my 1-year anniversary at Obsidian, where I moved here to do video editing.
So before you got into the industry, like what were all the jobs you kind of had?
So I worked in a warehouse for a glove company for a while. I was a warehouse worker, so basically I just packed orders. Mm-hmm. It was not the most exciting job, but why can't I?
You got to take damage and then do the aerial recovery.
Oh, I see. They want me to. Okay. It wasn't the most exciting job, but I really enjoyed it because no one would bug me. So I just listened to podcasts the entire time, and that's how I think I really got into the games industry, not so much like job-wise, but I just got like interested in it, is because I remember I am bad at this spin stuff.
RB.
Yeah, I think RB is easier.
You work in communications, right?
I do, yeah.
We work with people.
That's true. I'm not used to it. Not the most social. But yeah, I enjoyed that job because I remember listening to a lot of games podcasts. I remember listening to a lot of IGN stuff earlier on, and a lot of GameSpot stuff, just pretty much Giant Bomb, pretty much any podcast that was games related I would listen to. And that's what really got me invested in the industry, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So what originally got you into video editing? Were you into photography or art or things like that? Or you just really like film? Notice I said film.
Yeah, you did. Good work.
Yep.
I've always enjoyed film quite a bit. I always tried to see as many movies as I can, especially when I was younger. I haven't been able to keep up with it as much as well. But I never really figured that's what I wanted to do until a friend came over in high school and he's like, hey, let's make a movie. And I was like, all right. Oh, shoot. And I had fun with that, mm-hmm. But I didn't have a lot of fun until I started editing. And I was like, oh man, this might be what I want to do. I remember telling my parents that, and they were like, you want to go into film, huh?
They're like, no money in that. Yeah. Were they, or I'm just guessing?
I mean, they definitely brought that up, but they were still supportive. They weren't like, no. They were open to it. They were like, just have a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. What was the backup plan?
Didn't have one.
When did you break that to them?
Didn't.
Smart.
I just figured I'd succeed in some sense. And I guess technically I'm not in the quote-unquote film industry, but I'm in the game industry, which personally works out because I do love film, but I like games more.
I kind of feel like the game industry is cooler. I mean...
It's not as
Glamorous?
Yeah. But I think there's more interesting storytelling going on.
I would agree with that.
The game industry as opposed to...
You were also into video games. Do you remember your first time playing a game?
I don't know if I remember the first time playing my game. The first game I got though was Pokemon Red.
Okay.
And the first console was a Game Boy, not really a console, but I got that Game Boy.
Platform, right?
Yeah. I wanted to play games so bad, but my parents were like, no, you're gonna turn into Vidiot. I remember they used that word a lot. If I play video games, because I have a cousin who, at the time, played a lot of games, and that's all he did. And my parents were afraid that I would just play video games.
Turn into your cousin.
Yeah.
You had your time with Pokemon. You got into video editing. You started taking it in college. What was film school like? And when eventually were you like, I'm going to get into games journalism because that's going to be the thing?
Well, film school was interesting because I wasn't able to afford to go to an actual film school because they're expensive. So yeah. I went to a community college, Santa Barbara City College.
Do they have a mascot?
The Vaqueros.
Go Vaqueros.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I went there because that was all I can afford, and I didn't realize that they had much of a film program until I was actually there, and it's actually pretty good for a community college. So I was able to get a lot of hands-on experience pretty early. And then from there, while I was there, I was like still pretty bent on getting into film. But in my free time, I would write reviews for games, and I would, there was like small websites that friends ran that I would like contribute to. Occasionally I'd help them with video projects and stuff like that. And during that, while I was helping with video projects, I was like, man, I can like go to film school, but then use those skills to make videos in the video game industry, because like they still need videos, right? And they need trailers, all sorts of stuff. So
YouTube was a thing coming up.
YouTube, yeah, it was like starting to get really big.
Video reviews were more and more.
Yep. So I did that for, I was at community college for 4 years. I spent plenty of time there. Then what happened next? Oh, I know. And then a friend of mine reached out and he was like, hey, GameSpot has a internship for a video producer. And I was like, wow, that sounds great, but there is no way they're going to want to hire me. So I applied, just kind of didn't think anything of it. And like a couple months later, I hear back. I did like 3 or 4 interviews, got the job, and was there for a while, just making all sorts of videos.
You're an intern. You left college.
Correct.
You're excited. You're chomping at the bit to do some stuff, right?
Yeah.
What was it like when you first got there?
GameSpot?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a dream come true. It was like everything I had like worked so hard for, like in one place. It was probably some of the best years of my life. Like the first 2 years or so were great. Because I like right when I found out that's what I wanted to do, that was like all I dedicated my time to, was just like writing reviews, making videos and all that stuff. And I didn't think any of that would materialize, because I looked at, you know, how rare those jobs are and how many people apply for those kind of jobs. I was like, there's no way. So yeah, I mean, it was like, I remember being in shock for at least like the first week or so when I was there.
I definitely relate. I feel like that's how it was when I got the job here.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I definitely felt it here as well. I think probably not as much because I was much younger back then. I was like still in college too, and I was like, man, all my friends are like doing these dumb internships, and I'm like here getting games early to review and like play.
Traveling too, right?
And I did a lot of traveling. I remember in college asking a teacher if I could take a week off, and she was like, why? And I was like, well, for work they want to send me to Poland. And she's like, oh, please go. And I was like, all right.
If she said don't go, would you have still gone?
I still would have gone, although
I would absolutely have
I
gone
don't
too.
know why she would have said no. So that teacher at SF State, she did sound design for Apocalypse Now.
Oh, wow.
And a bunch of David Lynch films. So she was like, I don't know, she was very much like, there's a lot of film teachers who haven't like really worked in film, they just know that stuff.
Yep.
So they don't quite understand like how important it can be to like actually be on set, like on a real set, and like, you know, do set work.
Yeah.
But she totally did, and she was like,
in
oh,
the field, on the job, right?
you're going to film? And I was like, yep. And she was like, yeah, go, absolutely.
That's cool. Is Poland the coolest place you've gone for work?
I went to Brazil,
Ooh,
which was really cool. I went to Australia, which was cool. That wasn't so much for work. That was more because I wanted to go. But at the time, there was a GameSpot Australia, so I was able to work out of that office.
Oh, you were just like, I'm gonna transfer for a few months.
Yeah, I did it for about a summer.
So when you were there, you know, you're traveling, you're what kind of videos and things are you editing? Are you just doing trailers or guides or like more creative pieces or things like that, where it's like personality driven?
You're talking about at GameSpot?
Yeah.
At GameSpot, it was a bit of everything. I think when I first started, I mostly focused on news. I did a lot of, I handled their news show for like the first year or so. After that, I kind of dabbled between a lot of things, like guides, sometimes more editorialized stuff, sometimes montages, like more trailer-like things as well. It was just kind of whatever was called for.
That guy just having a sit down. You almost shot him in the face.
Oh, nothing
You're lucky
happens.
you can dodge. Project management, deadlines, things like that. Did you have a team of people that you worked with? Like, were you primarily like the final say on editing of things?
No, I mean, I was a producer along with a ton of other people. Oh, you mean like in things I made?
Yes.
Yeah, for the things I made, it was like kind of up to me.
Okay.
But like, yeah, there was a team, but like a lot of the kind of videos that are produced are like better to be done by one person, just because
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
too many cooks in the kitchen and the speed that it needs to get done. You don't really have time to like start transferring assets to people and.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, video files get bigger and bigger, and
Yeah, now that everyone's obsessed with
transitions,
4K.
animations, 4K, yep. Gotta be 4K 60 frames. Oh, that death was not 4K 60 frames.
No, it's not.
No. All right, so similar to your college experience, what's the thing, like when you applied for here and you were, showing your reel, was there anything from there that you were like, this is the best thing I've worked on and I'm showing it? It's been
Is it?
RB. There you go.
I keep want to hit down. It does not do much damage. I did a lot of stuff with like mods
Okay.
that I was really proud of. Like I covered a lot of mod projects. I did one on Beyond Skyrim, which is like modders trying to recreate the entire world of Tamriel in Skyrim, and then I did one on a team remaking Oblivion,
Okay.
which is one of my favorite games. So that one was fun. That's probably my favorite video I did at GameSpot, just because I think I managed to tell like a more personal story than I think people expect for like just a little bit of journalism, you know? So I was really proud of that.
Yeah, I do feel like there's been kind of a shift in games coverage with how a lot of people started at a GameSpot, a Giant Bomb, something like that, and then going out on their own, or just doing like video formats and things like that, like more personal, telling stories about like the people that make the game and the things that have happened, and not just the game being the highlight. And I think that stuff could be really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, because, at the end of the day, like, it is people making these games. Everyone's got unique stories, and like, there's always more stories to tell.
Yeah.
which is-
6 years at GameSpot, editing, traveling the world, meeting all the people. What kind of spurred the change
I mean,
to get to go to the to the developer side, I guess?
so I mean, GameSpot was the only place I professionally worked.
Well, I mean, the glove factory. You were
In the glove factory, but like in terms of like career-wise, and I'd been there 6 years, and I was like, all right, I think it's time for something different. That and also like I really like Obsidian games. That was a huge draw as well.
So what's your day to day like now? You're here. You're editing videos. You're traveling.
Yeah, I mean, lately it's been a lot of support. I would say not in like the support you do, but like
I was gonna say,
supporting.
'cause if you want to jump in, I've got a list of people.
I'd be no good at that. It's a lot of supporting like the development teams with footage they need. I handle a lot of the highlights that you see on the YouTube channel. So the casually grounded highlights. After this stream, the highlight, a Extra Lives highlight is going to go up as well. It'll be the first one. We're going to start doing those weekly as well.
Yep. Tell your friends. Tell them.
But yeah, it's kind of it ranges a lot. It's just kind of like I don't really know what I'm going to be doing week to week, except for some of the big stuff. It's fun. It's exciting. Like right now, I can't say what I'm doing, but
It's right. You definitely cannot say what you're doing, but it's interesting.
It's interesting.
It's very, very interesting. Professional Soul player. You should dash. You like film. You like video games. What is the best video game movie?
Oh man, I got a soft spot in my heart for the Doom movie that came out in like what 2004 or
With The
something
Rock?
like that with The Rock.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in a long time, to be fair. Oh god, there's so many bad ones. I actually thought the Sonic movie was pretty good. I haven't seen the second one yet.
I thought the Sonic movie, the first one was fun. It was entertaining. It was good.
I like the first Sonic movie. I didn't see it in theaters because I was like, there's no way.
You couldn't be caught dead in a theater to see Sonic, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too. But I was like, there's no way this is going to be good. Anyone who says it's good is like, they just have never seen a good video game movie, and this is the closest thing to it. So they're like, I don't know. But I ended up seeing it. I was like, oh, this is actually a lot of fun. I liked it.
It was a lot of fun. And once I saw that Knuckles was Idris Elba, I was like, I'm on board.
Yeah, I haven't seen that 2 yet, but I actually do really want to.
Oh, there's a dance battle? Sonic 2 is good except the dance battle, says Clown K. What do you think is one of the most overrated movies that people say are like, you have to see this? This embodies cinema. This is like quintessential to the art.
I don't know.
I like it when they're tiny.
I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of people would say Citizen Kane. I haven't seen Citizen Kane though.
But you own it if I remember correctly.
I do own it. I actually, I was about to graduate. I never saw Citizen Kane in a single of my film classes for some reason. I think like there was one year, like my first year, where the teacher was going to show Citizen Kane, but I was sick, so I didn't show up. I had every intention of going. I wasn't even like playing hooky or going to the beach or something.
You
It
weren't
was
going to
just like,
Poland?
yeah, I was just like, oh, I'm not feeling well, so I'm not going to go. So probably my last week of college, the teacher was like, all right, I know everyone's seen this, but I feel like we should watch Citizen Kane. And I walked out of the classroom because I was like, you know what, I want to graduate without having seen Citizen Kane.
Spicy King donated.
Well, I think we know what Spicy King's going to want us to have.
Yeah, because we got the other one, but this is for 3 beans. Yeah, Spicy King, if you're still here, I am so sorry. We don't have the alerts for the tilt fry, but we gotta eat 3 beans, my man.
3?
Yeah.
Are we doing only spicy?
Do you really want to mix and match spicy and gross?
I mean, not particularly.
I mean, you kind of said it now.
Okay.
You got 3?
I got 2, but are we going to mix and match? Should I get
Do you want to put a gross one in? Or a
Yeah.
spicy one?
Let's get a gross one.
All right.
2 beans and a gross one, or 2 spicy and a gross for me.
Yeah, I'll just take whatever's left of that. God, it's probably Band-Aid or rotten socks.
All right, one at a time, I take it?
Oh, I'm doing all at once.
All right.
Cheers. It's not good.
No.
You okay? Here.
Oh,
Here.
no, I'm okay now.
You sure?
I just couldn't swallow it because it
Okay.
was so gross.
Okay.
I don't know what flavor of that I got, but it was
What color
not
was
good.
it?
It's like off-white.
Could be a stink bug or dirty dishwater.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's really gross though.
Oh, I still taste it.
You want any water?
No, I'll make it.
You got in through your internship and going to school and things. Is that the kind of the same path to get into game journalism as well? Or because it's so prominent now, you kind of have to know somebody? And kind of the same for here at Obsidian. What are some advice you would give to somebody looking to do your line of work in either?
That means I failed, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's hard to time.
Yeah.
My advice is to start doing it now. If that's something you want to do, like, don't waste too much time. Especially if you want to do something in video production or if you want to do something in games media. No one's going to hire you if you don't have experience, even if you're right out of college. So like when you're in college, I'd make sure to like try to work on student projects if you're into film, or if you're more into writing, write things, read. If you're more into game design, like find some people you can like work on small projects with. Whatever it might be, just start early, because the longer you wait, the harder it is to do some of that stuff,
Yeah.
I would say.
It's good advice.
And then I think from there, like just apply, like even if you don't think you're gonna get it, just try, you know? Obviously hoping someone knows, but you never know like what's gonna happen, right? You could have some skill that is the exact thing they're looking for this role, or you could have some experience that they really want that you would have no way of knowing. I mean, hopefully that stuff is usually communicated in the job description, but like not all that stuff gets translated super well. So
You're right, it doesn't. And then the one thing I think you touched on is even out of school, you need practical experience now. School is not enough.
yeah,
And it also shows initiative that you were just like, hey, look at me. I'm doing all these things. I'm awesome.
yeah,
You're
and
on
also
your own.
like it's not even so much always about the practical skill you learn. I mean, that's important, obviously, but a lot of times it's just the people you meet. Like, and especially with the internet, like, I don't know, like I would have never gotten that job at GameSpot if that friend of mine didn't tell me to apply, who I met because we were both writing at a game site. Never met him in real life. We just like bonded over, God, I don't know what it was. I think Dragon Quest or something.
Okay.
And he recommended it. So like that would have gone completely past me otherwise.
And we wouldn't be here eating gross beans.
We wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have choked right there.
We wouldn't have. The game part of it. We're gonna wrap up here. Just want to say thanks, Jake, for joining us today, talking about what you do here.
Thank you for having me.
Pineapple belongs on pizza. How you're gonna be a liar when you make movies.
I will.
And how you were one of the best Smash players in the world.
I am not.
One of the best Smash players in the office.
Yeah, I would say so. There are people who are better than me, but you know.
All right, all right. Have a great day, and we will see you all later.